Happy Wednesday, scholars. Today is Wednesday, June 10th, 2020. I'm so excited to get started on today's lesson because today is all about word problems, which is what we've been practicing all year. So I know you're going to rock this lesson. Let's get started. If you have the packet, you are looking at Module 6, Lesson 25. If you don't have the packet, you might need a family member or an older brother or cousin to help you write some of these word problems on a separate piece of paper so that you can try your best. We're reading on to 1, 2. Caden ate 17 cookies. Jaden ate 12 more cookies than Caden. How many cookies did Jaden eat? We're going to go ahead and solve this one together. So the first thing that we're going to do when we're solving a word problem is we always are going to mark up our problem. So I see a number right here, 17, and we're always going to circle numbers because those are usually really important when we're solving our word problems, so we know which numbers we're working with. So I'm circling 17. Then I see Jaden ate 12 more. I'm going to circle the words 12 and more so that I remember that Jaden didn't eat just 12 cookies, but he ate 12 more. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, and then I see the question. It says, how many cookies did Jaden eat? So we're looking for the number of cookies that Jaden ate. I think for this one, I'm going to set up a double tape diagram. I'm going to set up a double tape diagram because we're not really looking for another part. We're just looking for how many cookies this scholar ate. So we have one part of 17. We know that Caden ate 17. Then we know that Jaden ate 17, but then also 12 more. I know this because the problem says Jaden ate 12 more cookies than Caden. So he ate the same amount as Caden and then 12 more. Whoa, that's a lot of cookies. Now we can go ahead and label our double tape diagram. So I'm going to draw 17 inside of this one for Caden. And then I know that this is also equal to 17 and then 12 more for Jaden. And I'm going to draw a big line at the bottom. And this line, probably somewhere right here, since I don't have that much space, is where I'm going to write my total of how many cookies Jaden ate. Now I can write a number sentence to help me solve. So we know that Jaden ate 17, which is the same number as Caden, plus 12 more, and we don't know what that equals yet. To solve, you can use the make 10, the add 10. You can choose a number of different strategies. I'm going to choose the add 10 strategy. So I'm going to break up the smaller number into 10, 10s and 1s. So I have one part of 10, one part of 2. I'm going to circle 17 plus 10. 17 add one more 10 is 27. Plus 2 more is 29. And I'm going to write 29 right here because that's the total number of cookies that Jaden ate. And we can't forget to write it in our answer statement. Now let's read the answer statement together. Get ready, go. Jaden ate 29 cookies. Whoa, so many cookies. Let's go on to the next one. We're reading on to 1, 2. Alana hopped on one leg 25 times in a row. Caleb hopped 13 fewer times. How many times did Caleb hop on one leg? This time, you're going to pause and solve this one on your own, and I'll meet you back right here when you're done. All right, let's see what you got. So first things first, we make sure that we mark up our problem. So I saw this number 25, so I circled 25, and I know that Alana did that. Then I see the name Caleb, and he hopped 13 fewer, so I circled 13 and the word fewer, so I remember that Caleb didn't hop 13 times, but he hopped 13 fewer times. Then the question asks us, how many times did Caleb hop on one leg? So I know we're looking for Caleb's number of times that he's hopped on one leg. To set up my double tape diagrams, first I set up one long one for Alana, because I know that she hopped more times than Caleb, especially since we know Caleb hopped 13 fewer. And her total tape diagram is equal to 25. But since we know that Caleb hopped 13 fewer, we know that Alana must have hopped 13 more than Caleb. So I drew a line right here, the same length as Caleb's tape diagram, and then I drew 13 more. So I know that one part of Alana's is 13, but I don't know the other part. And once I find the other part, that will tell me how many times Caleb has hopped on one leg. To do that, I set up two number sentences, the whole of Alana's, the total of Alana's, minus the part, which is 13, equals blank. Or you can have the part plus another part that we don't know equals the total. Now, I know that my number sentences aren't complete, but I'm looking for a scholar who knows what am I missing in my drawing over here. What am I missing in my drawing? Tap your nose if you know. Raise your hand if you know. That's right. I'm missing a label. It is so important that we always label our tape diagrams so we don't get confused. Which one is Alana's, which one is Caleb's. So I made sure that I labeled right here, A for Alana, and down here, K for Caleb. Let's solve those number sentences. So you can use any strategy that you know. For this one, I think it might be most helpful to grab 13 and count up to 25. Let's do it together. Say 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So we have 10 plus 2 more, which is 12. So we know that Caleb hopped 12 times. You can fill it in right here too. And then let's fill it in our diagram. Now let's read the answer statement together. Caleb hopped on one leg 12 times. Nice job. All right, here we go. Last word problem of the day. Sean bounced the ball 22 times in a row. He bounced the ball 13 more times than Faith. How many times did Faith bounce the ball? Pause and solve on your own. Let's see how we did. So every time that you see something on your page that I also have on my page, give yourself a pat on the back. Let's get started. Give yourself a pat on the back if you marked up your problem and circled 22 and 13 more. Nice job. Give yourself a pat on the back if you set up your double tape diagram to look like this one. Remember that we know that Sean bounced the ball a total of 22 times, and he bounced it also 13 more times than Faith. So pat on the back if you got 22. Pat on the back if you have this part right here of 13. Pat on the back if you have a tape diagram, a tape set up for Faith that is smaller than Sean's. Pat on the back if you have the tape diagram set up where one part, Sean's tape is divided into two parts, one part of 13 for that 13 more, and an unknown part. What tool are we using to help us solve a problem where we don't know a part? We're using a double tape diagram. That's right. Now let's solve. Now raise your hand or give yourself a pat on the back if you have one or both of these number sentences set up. Nice job. Let's solve those number sentences. So I know that raise your hand if you know what mistake Miss Javadi made. Nice job. Who knows? Tap your nose. Tap your nose again. Tap your ears. That's right. We forgot our labels. Give yourself a big pat on the back if you have your labels. If you don't have your labels, let's add them now. Why did I label Faith as the shorter tape diagram? Who knows why I labeled Faith as the shorter tape? That's right. It's because Faith bounced the ball a fewer number of times than Sean, so Faith's tape is going to be a little shorter. Let's get back to our number sentences. So we know that Sean's total tape is equal to 22 times. We know that he has one part of 13. Let's grab 13 and count up to 22. Get ready, go. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. How many fingers are you holding up? You should be holding up 9 fingers. I'm going to fill it in both number sentences and in both tapes. That means that, let's read the answer statement. Faith bounced the ball 9 times. Awesome job, scholars, with all your hard work on these. I'm going to zoom out to show you your independent practice. You're solving this problem as well as the next 2 or 3 pages. Yep, the next 3 pages as your independent practice. If you need help from a family member to write down the word problems on your page, don't be afraid to ask, but first try your best and see if you can do it on your own. Have an awesome rest of your Wednesday, scholars. Talk to you soon. Bye.